This is Jim Emter, Van Ahn Company, Alexandria, Minnesota, with your closing grain and livestock comments for September 20th, 2019. Corn market on Friday down 2, soybeans down 10 1/4, Chicago wheat down 3 3/4, Minneapolis up 4, Kansas City down 2. Looking at the week here, we had corn up 15 1/4 on the true weekly, but December was up 2 cents. Soybeans on the true weekly down 2, but November down 16. Chicago wheat down 1 1/2 on the true weekly. Overall in the Dees, we were up 3/4 cents. Minneapolis up 31 1/4 on the weekly, but December was up 18 3/4 truly on the week. And Kansas City wheat up 24 cents on the weekly, but Dees on the week was up 7 3/4. So the biggest reason for the changes there on those weekly quotes is the September expiration allows those to be a little more lofted on the true weekly versus what we actually had for those given contracts. As you look to the news here, long story short, China-U.S. negotiations not going so hot all of a sudden. President Trump saying he does not want a partial deal, he wants a full, complete deal. China's canceled their Farm Bureau meetings now in Nebraska and Montana, and they're heading back home, it sounds like. So, long story short, we'll see how negotiations proceed as we work forward. I think China in a roundabout way was hoping for kind of a partial agreement, and Trump called them out on that. And we'll see how that develops, but a lot of uncertainty as a result, and the reason for the pressure late in the day. When you look to price counts, Minneapolis wheat has activated. Its next price count right now is hanging around 548, and obviously with the wet weather in the northern plains, that's allowed the market to build up. But for corn and soybeans, we were not able to get above $3.75 for corn and $9 in beans, so we get stuck in this lull here, at least for the near term. Live cattle down 45 cents on Friday. Feeder cattle up 37 to down 45. Lean hogs down 105 to 170. On the week, live cattle up 127 1/2. Feeder cattle up 382 1/2. And the lean hogs down 612 1/2. So let's start in hogs. Obviously on Friday, the China news allowed those to sell off as we work through the day. Cash index $56, so we've got a pretty big separation there, and we'll have to watch how that unfolds. Over in the cattle markets, however, we had a reasonable week. We've got markets on the verge of breakouts here, but we need to get above 106 in live cattle and over the 140 hump in the October feeder cattle. If we can do that, you start opening up $3 to $5 type price counts for those two markets respectively. But to do that, we need to see the cash undertone and exports really show up. Cash undertones, 101 live, 162 dressed was the undertone, and we'll see where that takes us into next week. Cattle on feed showed 91% of the placements versus 95 expected. Otherwise, marketings and placement came in right in line with expectation. Our marketing and cattle on feed came in right in line with expectation versus placements that were down 4%. This has been Jim Emter, Van Ahn Company, Alexandria, Minnesota. Trading in futures and options involves risk of loss and is not suitable for all producers. Past performance is not indicative of future results. This is a solicitation. Have a great weekend.